Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to the pitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform. And now, here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, the two-time grand champion, SCA World Champion finalist, and barbecue specialist of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Lujan, and the 24-time grand and reserve grand champion, reserve world grand champion, Windover High Roller champion, and the founder of Pitmaster Barbecue Supply Company stores in Utah, the old man himself from Big Johnson's Barbecue, Jesse Johnson.
This is Greg Rempe from the Barbecue Central Show, and you are listening to the Pitmasters Podcast, and they are doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. I just said that. They're going to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, live. They're going to do it live.
What's up, Pitmasters? This week on the show, we're going to do something a little bit different. As you know, there was a transition to the podcast, and we decided to do them live, and there's also a team behind the podcast as well, and they're all great members of the barbecue community, so we're going to introduce them. And we got Travis, Derek, and Crystal. They do a lot of behind the scenes stuff for us, so we wanted to just bring them on and introduce them to everybody. But Jesse,
yes,
we decided Sunday mornings are difficult, especially in your career, because you don't go to bed until what, 3 o'clock.
Some Saturday nights are pretty bad. So
yeah. So we do have some guests booked for the next couple Sundays, but we're actually going to transition into Tuesday evenings. So if you want to watch our lives, we're going to do them on Tuesday evenings going forward. Like, once again, we have a couple that are already booked, but we're going to just transition into Tuesday evenings, so you can catch us on after work or on your way to from home from work or whatever you want to do. So we'll be live for you. But Jesse, anything new coming up for you?
Yeah, I misspoke last week when I said we were doing the soft opening for the West Jordan store. That it's going to be this coming weekend, and then the grand opening will be Labor Day weekend. They'll have free food and everything on that Saturday, and so that's for the Pitmaster Supply Company. They're at 7878 Redwood Road in West Jordan. It's going to be a great location. They'll be service a lot of people on the West Valley that don't have service right now, so can't wait for that. Should be a whole bunch of fun. Then we got Hooper Tomato Days coming up Labor Day weekend too. So if you're a backyard team, you want to get your feet wet, just hop on to Great Western Barbecue Events on Facebook, and there's links inside their events there to get all signed up. So that's a fun event. And then the Dunions are going to help me run that. Hopefully we get Travis Bates to help run that as well. And then so I've got to do a derby in Montana. So
oh man. Well, Jesse, I this past week I was able to go down to Redmond Salt Mines down in just, I guess, north of Richfield. Yeah. Holy cow, dude, that place is awesome, and I want to
figure operation, huh?
Yeah, I want to figure out, and they said it's possible to figure out how to do like a comp down there, like even if an SEA, just a single steak down in the mines, to be able to cook. I think that'd be awesome to be able to go down there. And if you drop your steak, it's just beneficial. You're just adding more flavor to it when you're down there in the salt mines.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. And then once again, there's a competition down in Vegas. The spots are all full, but she does have a waiting list just in case if somebody does drop. So make sure you go over to Christy Vanover's
sold out
site.
76 spots in 3 hours.
Yeah, well, technically about 5 because she got more spaces and more time. But yeah,
that's completely unheard of in the barbecue world for KCBS events to sell out an event. We're talking about months in advance for one, but to do it in a matter of a day is just incredible. Congratulations to Christy on that.
For sure, and then also. If you're listening to this live, you have maybe 2 days to sign up for the Ace Hardware competition in Pleasant Grove, Utah. That is an SEA event. Sliders, steak, ribs, and there was one more category I totally spaced, and that's my fault. But if you're an ancillary cook, you already know. So just get signed up for that.
If you know, you know.
Exactly. But yeah, man, there hasn't been much new out there. Do you know anything? Running the shop, is there any new things in the stream that are coming to the barbecue market? You know, like some new GMGs, anything like that? Is there any news to be
No, the
looking forward
GMGs are
to?
all the 2.0s all, and then all the accessories are landing. But looks like we're going to get a Connex full of the Big Pig jig from GMG. Not sure when they're going to land, but they're going to drop an entire Connex full of those smokers on a trailer, and
Nice.
those will be available to the public. And got that huge amount of space for not quite what a cost of a trailer should be. So
Mhm.
it's the value added is going to be awesome for our customers. That's going to be fun. But then no, there's got some interesting stuff. We just got Bushmasters rub in
Oh man, that
called
stuff is
called
amazing.
the Brawler. We already
Yes.
sold out. It sold out already.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was crazy.
It is an amazing thing. When I was out there in Colorado and stopped by his shop and tasted it, I was like, this is probably, like I said, it's probably one of the best rubs I've ever had. It's
It's
amazing and it's good stuff.
It's solid, and he says that's all he uses on his brisket.
Yeah.
It's such a solid flavor. And then
Yeah.
you know, we brought in a bunch of Head Country's new Mexican barbecue sauces. They're almost like moles. There's a chocolate
Oh
chipotle, and they've just been crushing it lately too. So
man. Yeah, I gotta try some of that new
I'm
stuff.
I'm really excited. I'm still waiting on my RFXs.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
man.
ordered a bunch of those, and can't wait to have those in for our customers.
Yeah, I think those will sell out quickly for you as well because it's a game changer for sure. So
Yeah.
well, cool. Let's get into talking to these our team on the back end of this, huh?
You got it. Let's do it.
Cool. Let's do
Bring
it.
them in.
We call it Thermapen 1, the first true 1-second cooking thermometer. Its unprecedented speed means Thermapen 1's responsiveness approaches the speed of thought. Because when you're plating the perfect menu or smoking the perfect side of barbecue, you don't have time to think about how your instant read thermometer is accurate to 0.5 degrees in 1 second or less, or how rugged and waterproof it is, or how big, elegant and bright the backlit display is. You'll just know it works, because our perfection powers your perfection. Seek perfection with Thermapen 1.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing this morning?
Good. How about you guys?
Excellent.
Good, doing great.
Yeah, great.
Well, I decided that we should bring everybody on here. Everybody knows that there's a transition in the show, and then when I decided that we're gonna just bring in a team to help carry the show. It is a lot to do on your own, so we just like to introduce everybody and then what they do, part of the barbecue community, and what you do for the show. So we'll just start in order. We got Travis up here up top, so we'll just start with you, Travis. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the show.
Perfect. So, hey, I apologize for the bad lighting. I'm actually in my office today, so I had a little work to do today. So,
Oh, somebody's working. Wow. Imagine
well,
that.
yeah. Hey, but you can't see if I have pants on or not. So I don't know.
So you work for CNN.
Well, yeah, I may have snuck in the back door. Thank God I got keys and alarm code. So, yeah. So, look, my role here with the podcast is I'm going to be taking on kind of the social media aspect of the community page, which up to this point has basically been getting rid of all the bots and people trying to sell you foot gear and pillows and all that fun stuff. So we're going to continue to grow that and really bring in some more community involvement. Kind of make that a good transitional page where people can talk about events and activities and maybe some bragging rights and things like that. So it's one of 4 pages that on the book face that I help moderate or admin. I don't know how I find those roles. They just find me. But I got started with barbecue. Interestingly enough, I met Jesse probably 1989 or 90, so right before Anthony was even born. And we were both in college, and I met Jesse through the local radio station at the university. So, it was a good way to get out of some classes, and Jesse taught me quite a few things about that, and we just had kind of become friends. And was talking with him one day, and he's like, "Hey, I do this barbecue stuff that you ought to get involved. He's like, I need some judges. What do you think? And got me certified through KCBS. And then my very first comp was out in Wendover, which was the largest comp in the Western United States at the time. Was just absolutely amazing. So a little starstruck at that point. So I don't cook competitively. I am kind of on the dark side. So I am one of the judges everybody likes to complain about, which is fine. I got big shoulders, and I can look you right in the eye and tell you how I felt about your food. But I do both KCBS, I do backyard, I also do SCA. So I've missed all the world food stuff that Terrell puts together. Those tend to be on weekends that I have to work, so I haven't made it quite into that point. So, but no, it's a fun sport. I try and keep it very lighthearted from my end. I realize how much work that everybody puts into it, and just try and help support their love of the game.
Sweet. Thanks, Travis. So, Travis, what we're going for with all that community page is you exactly hit it. Just jump on that page and just let people know about your events, engage, tell us about the podcast. We do have 2 Facebook pages. I think what I want to do is try to get everybody to that community page. The main page is just going to be letting you know that we have episodes out, some small comments, but then we want the actual full engagement on the community side. So
Perfect.
post your comps there. Brag about listening to the podcast at a competition. If you learned something from the show that helped you win, go ahead and post on that. Go to that community page and just engage there. That's where we want to see most of the engagement. And Travis will be responding to you. I'll be responding to you. And everybody else will get on there and to be able to engage with you. And let's just build that, and let's let that grow and just spread the love. Jesse, you need to go on there and post the store opening and everything like that. So any news, go ahead and post it on there. Just get it going.
Yeah, I'll start incorporating that in my posts for events and whatnot too as well. So
sweet. And then now we're gonna bring on Crystal. Crystal is the one that keeps this show going. She is really huge behind the scenes. She's the one who's been booking all of our guests. She's been keeping us in line, organizing us when to jump on. She is the true person that's keeping this podcast together. So Crystal, welcome to the show. Tell us what you do in the barbecue community.
So Crystal booked herself today. Nice.
Yes.
Good job.
She literally did. Yeah, good job.
No, so I didn't realize how much sun I got yesterday.
Just a little bit.
Oh, I know. It was so funny. It's been raining out in Vernal like crazy this whole week, and it didn't rain yesterday till we did awards. So I was like, oh, that's nice. I am a head cook of a team called the Failed Vegan, which is my favorite name ever. My husband named the team. He always says that that's his one contribution to the barbecue team is that he named us. But he pays for things, so he contributes more than just the name. So I met Jesse and Anthony in 2018. There was a competition that I just came and walked around and talked to everybody, and then I did the Northern Utah State Championship that year as my very first competition, and I came in last. But I had so much fun that I didn't really care. Yeah. And so I've done a couple of barbecue competitions with Jesse, a grand champion this year at the Spring Fling. Did the Northern Utah State Championship and came in 20th, and I loved it, but I beat Anthony, so I was happy about that.
Nice.
I never thought I would, but it was funny. My dad actually met Anthony probably in right before COVID hit. And he was like, Crystal, you need to talk to this guy. He's so smart. And I was like, we already follow each other on Facebook, Dad. It's fine.
Not smart, just I shouldn't say smart. I just say it's just random. Sometimes I try something new and it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So
no, but because I was barely starting to get into barbecue, and my husband bought me a Traeger in 2015, and I entered a competition out in Vernal and won. It was the first time I ever made a pork butt, and it was awful. I don't know how I won. It was so bad.
Oh man!
But I won, and then my husband works for a sporting goods store, and they sell Traeger in Green Mountain, and so I've gone through probably bought and sold all three of the big Green Mountain or the little the old Davy Crockett, the Jim Bowie, and the Daniel Boone. I've had all of those.
Wow.
And bought, sold, and traded, and then I won the prime from Jesse when I grand championed at Spring Fling, and actually sold that to my uncle to pay for the Northern Utah competition.
that sometimes really does help when you have, especially when you have a grill, and the prizes are amazing, but sometimes you just got to let them go so you can go on to the next competition. But
and because I just made my husband buy me a Pit Boss that has a griddle and the smoker. I was like, I should have just kept that. I lost a competition. I came in last in July, and I was very upset. And so, as a consolation prize, my husband bought me a new grill.
What I like about this is Crystal is she's she's really learning. She's really asking a lot of questions. She's digging into it. Like Jesse and I, we get texts weeks before.
I text all the time. I'm sorry.
But the thing is she's digging in, and she says that she didn't win competition. She took last, but she's still grinding out because she loves this sport so much. She's trying to figure it out, and I guarantee you, if she keeps going, she's gonna start getting those top 10 calls more often and more regular, especially with the competition.
And I did a competition yesterday. I don't know where I came in. They haven't given us our sheets or anything in the list of who came in where.
Right.
But it was really fun, and I switched up my seasonings for the first time in a while. And they do People's Choice, and of course I didn't win that either. I never do, but I don't care. Everyone that came by was like, what is this? What seasonings do you use? Can I see it so I can write it down? It was really fun.
Yeah. People's Choice competitions are weird. They really are. Just because
I wasn't up next to the judging table, and I think that the people that were right up there, they were the ones that won, like the people that were right across from the judging table.
Right.
So,
well, Travis said, he's completely honest with your barbecue. If he doesn't like it, he's going to tell you. But People's Choice, everybody's going to tell you, oh, that's good, as they walk away and throw it away in the trash can if they don't like it. So it's just that's what's so funky about
so
People's
let's be
Choice.
clear. I'm not going to tell you I didn't like it. I'm going to tell you what I thought could have been different. I'm a little nicer than that.
All right.
Come on.
Not to me, Travis. You hurt my feelings a few times, man.
Well, it may have been that bad.
I'm just joking. Well, Crystal, thank you so much for doing all the booking. That is one of the hardest parts of the podcast, is getting people to commit to come onto the show, and she stays on it. She's keeping us very consistent, and we appreciate it.
I harass people across all the social medias.
And Crystal, remember, the only bad question that you ask is the one you don't ask.
True.
So
very true.
Always ask questions. We're
I have to remember that just because I'm up at 5 a.m. doesn't mean everyone else is, and I should not be bothering people.
Yeah, hold that thought.
All right, and then we have Derek. Derek is my co-host of the tasting with the most amazing beard, apparently. So yeah, Derek comes on here about once a month with me, and we do a rub tasting, and he's my co-host on that. But he also does a lot of other stuff too, as you can see his amazing barbecue shed. Is it a shed, or is it just like an awning?
It's
barbecue shacks or shanties.
I call it my smoke shanty for sure.
There you go. That's awesome.
It was originally a dog kennel, which then converted into a chicken run. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I have too many grills and smokers, so I need a place for it with a platform. So it got converted into the shanty.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you are part of the just general barbecue community.
Okay. It's I think it's pretty common along with a lot of people. It started around 2008, 2009-ish, peak of barbecue Pitmasters. So everybody kind of watched that show. I was like, I could do that. So my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she was like, well, put your money where your mouth is. She bought me a charbroil offset from, Walmart or, Home Depot. And I was cooking on that. And at that time, our place was that spot where everybody would come. The door was always unlocked. We had the pool, we had the large house. So everybody would come over every weekend unannounced, and it'd just be the spot. So with that, it gave me an audience to cook for. So I'd do pork butts. I make an attempt at trying to do briskets, and then I would do, you know, smaller things, ribs, try to, of course, when barbecue is free, everybody loves it, but it was great motivation. So started off that way, doing backyard stuff. Around 2014, I then started working at Cali Barbecue down here in Spring Valley in San Diego County, and I eventually worked my way to as their weekend pitmaster. With that, my mentor there at the restaurant was Gene Goycochea, who was a
Gene's
KCBS.
awesome.
Yeah, so he is my KCBS mentor, if you will. So shout out to Gene. So as a KCBS rep, he kind of would, you know, pour some knowledge into me. I'd bring him ribs or things like that. He's like, hey, it's good, but you know, maybe if you're getting serious, you maybe need to get a different cooker. So he suggested I get a WSM, a Weber Smoky Mountain. Picked up one of those, and it changed my game completely. So started running with that. Along with his expertise with KCBS, the restaurant, along with a local meat market in the same area, decided to start holding, or they were already hosting a backyard contest that they do once a year, a tailgate barbecue festival in Spring Valley. So I started dabbling with that. So everything from setup, bringing in judges, setting up the judges' tent, and making sure that we had enough teams for People's Choice, things like that. So as the years progressed, my level of involvement became greater and greater. So hosting and organizing a backyard contest eventually led to a Del Mar contest at the Del Mar racetrack. And that was a KCBS state championship contest for San Diego, which San Diego hadn't had one in a while. So we did that all the way into COVID. So we had a good 3 or 4 year run. So same thing, making sure teams are taken care of, judges are all counted for, all the accommodations are there, working with the Del Mar racetrack to make sure we're not stepping on any toes during the race season. And, you know, a lot great feedback from the teams that were participating in it. They love the venue because you're right there on the beach, you're at the racetrack, historic racetrack, and the vibe was just phenomenal. But, you know, like with COVID, a lot of things just kind of fell off. During that time frame, I then became a CBJ, a certified barbecue judge and table captain with Kansas City Barbecue Society. So that I would get a feel for what the judges are, you know, tasting on their palates, what the teams are turning in. And, you know, at that time had no desire in doing competition, just like being in the background and just kind of hanging out. Then came around 2021. Fun fact, 2021, I was in work in Utah, and I decided to go to ThermoWorks to go visit and go check out their shop. And that's when I first met Anthony. So he was very, very welcoming. And, you know, we talked, he told me about the podcast. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. Gave me a couple stickers. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And ever since then, I've been a follower. So, and then at that same time, a buddy of mine who owns West Coast Barbecue Shop down in Chula Vista, he had this desire to go compete. He wants to build his resume for his barbecue shop. So when customers come in and say like, hey, why do you recommend this injection or this rub? He wanted to show like, hey, look at my trophies. You know, it speaks for itself. You know, there's a reason why I suggest this. So he asked me to cook alongside with him, and he wanted to take a run for Rookie of the Year for California Barbecue Association. Get Rookie of the Year was the objective for 2022. So we practiced alongside with Jesse with Seven Sins and Brett and Benny of B Mackin. They kind of took us under their wing to show us, and, you know, like, here's the most common mistakes. Here's kind of a general timeline. Here's some flavor profiles you guys should be kind of maybe following. And, you know, allowed us to practice a lot during 2021. 2022, jumped right in. First contest was Yuma. We couldn't do Bullhead, but first contest was Yuma. So there's a lot of heavy hitters. You had Phil with LC Barbecue. You had Smitty with Luton Booty. A lot of Southern California teams were out there along with some out-of-staters. So it was pretty intimidating. And my whole focus was just like, hey, just give me my results. I need to know what I need to improve on and everything. And that contest was the contest that, you know, that was the bug that bit us. When they called pork, I was so focused on like, just get this over with. Didn't realize that we pulled a 180 in pork for first place, and we got bit at that point. So that went into just, let's go tear this up. I think we cooked maybe 15 or 16 contests that year. We were able to secure Rookie of the Year for California Barbecue Association. So we were tickled with that. And then since then, 2023, 2024, we've been just trying to cook whatever contests that, you know, would pop up and were convenient. So I feel my barbecue journey has been a little backwards, you know, starting in a restaurant, then helping organize backyard contests, KCBS contests, and then finally and then judging, and then eventually like, all right, let me try this competition side. So, but the biggest thing is with the competitions and barbecue in general, it's all about community. And that's the biggest thing why I'm in it is the community. So when new teams come in, they're rookies, they've never cooked a contest before, or they're still trying to find their niche or find their path. I definitely like to be the one to be open with them. If you see me at a contest, feel free to talk to me, come up to me, ask me questions. I'll be an open book. I'll tell you what you need to know. And that's the biggest thing I enjoyed, especially our rookie season. A lot of people are very open with us. So that community is just phenomenal. With that, I've been on the board of directors for California Barbecue Association as well. So just trying to spread that love, that barbecue love throughout the community, whether it's in California or any contest throughout the U.S. And pretty much that's in a nutshell. I know we only have an hour today, but in a nutshell, that's my journey.
That's awesome, man. That's a lot. That is a lot that you've done in the barbecue community in less than, I guess, 10 years or so.
That's the complete reverse order of what people normally do when they get involved. Usually they start on the competition side trying to compete and whatnot, and then go the other direction. Sure. But that's awesome.
Yeah, right. To either organizing or even a restaurant. And after I seen all that, I'm like, I definitely don't want a restaurant. There's so much that goes into it, so many moving parts. So
yeah, and you're married to it. It's such long hours and long weeks, man. Guys that do the restaurant, you got to give them the hats off.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Well, that's awesome. We got a great group of people here. So we're just going to have a business meeting online live here. I really want to know from you guys. You guys all been avid listeners of the show. You've been a part of the show now. But what did you like about the old format and what did you not like about it? And then same question for the new format. What do you like about the new format and what do you think we should change? Open floor, round table, have at it, guys. Even you, Jesse.
I'm the new guy in there too, so
yeah.
I got to tell you, I really like the streaming portion. There's times when because I drive a lot for work, so I'll just listen in on the show. But it's also nice when you can put faces with names, when you get to see some of the guests. So when you run into them in the wild, you know who they are. I've really kind of enjoyed this live part. So. That's mine. It's one of my favorites.
Crystal, Derek, you've listened to the show for a long time. What do you enjoyed about the old format versus the new format that we got going on?
I feel they're very similar. The one thing that I really enjoy is the camaraderie that you already see there, the connection that let's say what you and Rusty had with your guest. You guys right now, you and Jesse as well, still maintain that, so that's still welcoming. It's still a familiar feeling, which I enjoy. I'll agree with Travis. Adding the live stream to it is always nice as well. So you're seeing a lot of that with other podcasts, whether they will film live and then still have it available for when you download. It is nice to see those faces because especially if you're listening to 5 or 6 different podcasts in a week, it's almost like, hey, just being able to look at the live stream and see and put those faces together is great. But I think we're on the right path of continuing to build those relationships. And like I said, maintaining that camaraderie that we see, like you can feel that energy in the interviews. Between the two of them, I feel like there's not a huge significant difference. Like I said, it's still moving forward with it and then adding those little things here and there. I don't think there's anything we should take away from it so far, but I think we're on the right path.
Crystal, any comments?
I like it. I like it too. I feel like you and Rusty had the same kind of chemistry and friendship that you and Jesse have, and so it works out. I like that. I like that if I needed something, I could be like, Travis, I can't get a hold of this guy on Facebook. Can you see if you can? I haven't run into that a whole lot, but I know that if I needed to, I could be like, Anthony, Jesse, whoever is I'm messaging is not answering because, it's a message request because they don't know me. And if I needed it, I could be like, reach out to any of you guys and be like, hey, you guys are a little heavier hitters than I am on the barbecue circuit. Can you help me out?
Right.
And I like that there's not just one person that's running everything. I felt like Anthony was probably running like crazy. And when he asked me to help, I was switching jobs and I was bored. And I was like, what can I do to help somebody else? Because I cannot focus on me right now. And thankfully he was like, hey, yeah, do this. And it kept me busy and kept me from going crazy.
Right.
There's been, I'll tell you, there's been a couple things with the old with the old format when it first started, you know, I mean, God, I can't remember how many seasons you guys got into. It was quite a few, but you know, there was some really heavy hitter barbecue teams on there, right? And these guys were giving up great information that, you know, I'd listen to the podcast in my truck and then I'd go home and listen to it again and take notes. You know, so, you know, because there's a lot of questions, especially if you're not as adept at barbecue. You know, I still remember, you know, when I got my first smoker, it was a GMG, and you know, I'm hitting up Jesse every 3 minutes, and who was very patient, by the way. But the answer was always the same. You know, hey, when is this going to be done? And he's like, when it's done. Well, how long does it take until it's done? And which was frustrating as hell at first, but now you totally get it. But you know, I really liked that with the traditional barbecue teams. You know, they really got into some stuff. But I've also really enjoyed some of the newer guests that we've had with the new format that are a little less traditional barbecue. And you know, there's been some really good meld. You know, talking about, you know, God, we're talking Cajun food. You know, 'cause look, if you love good barbecue, chances are you love good food. So, you know, it's been nice to have kind of a mix up of that as well. So great job on that, Crystal. Absolutely great job.
It's been fun. And I think I follow some of the non-traditional people that Jesse and Anthony don't really have time to. And so I think it's an interesting mix. I feel like there's been a lot more girls on this last couple of weeks than you've had before. And I think that's my fault.
Nothing wrong with
all
that.
good. There's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is what kind of touching on what Travis said, you know, yeah, we had to come in strong, Travis. I had to go and grind my heels into the ground and see if I could get some of these big names to, you know, justify our podcast to be able to get listeners. I still want to get some of those big names on, but I feel like our guests are, you know, there's still competition barbecue teams out there, but we're also trying to pick up some other listeners, like the people that are just barely getting into it and not realizing that it's a whole different level. Like World Food Championships, you know, there's a barbecue aspect of it, but there's more food everywhere. But it's more focusing on the live fire. All we want to talk to is guests that, you know, fire and meat. That's what we're going for. That traditional. I shouldn't say traditional. More just the fire and meat aspect of cooking, you know. And we still want to focus into competition barbecue because that's all of us have a part of that. In, you know, that's what we all do here. But
well, and look, there's been, you know, some of the traditional, you know, everybody's got different viewpoints on who your great, you know, your huge barbecue teams are. And there's a lot of them you've heard of, right? But yeah, you know, Derek brought up a great point. He brought up one of my favorite guys in the world earlier is Jesse with Seven Sins, right? That guy's an assassin on a barbecue. Yeah. And you know, the first time I ever met him was in Wendover. He cooks, you know, out of the back of a little tiny trailer and under a 10x10 canopy. Yep. You know, and look, his name isn't the biggest one out there, but that guy is leaving with trophies every comp. And, you know, first guy I ever saw turn in drummies. And, you know, so it's fun because look, he doesn't want the notoriety. He's not, you know, he doesn't drive a 53-foot rig and, you know, with everything all over the side of it. He wants the trophies and to cook. So it's fun to meet teams like that are absolutely fantastic, that the majority of people have never, you know, have never seen their comp team. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Jesse's a great guy. I'm glad Derek brought him up and glad you got to cook with him. He's fantastic. So
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a comp since Wendover. So I mean, he was a straight up assassin, and then you have all the other teams. Wendover is such a big, great contest, and I just talked to Greg actually yesterday. We were Curtis Nations, everybody knows, a good friend of ours from the Nation's Best Barbecue, and then the Utah Barbecue Company competition team. Yeah. He was rolling through Oklahoma and stopped at Travis Clark's place, and Travis Clark's probably the best barbecue cook in the last decade as far as success and wins and everything else. And he has his display case in his restaurant. And everything's front and center was the Wendover barbecue comp. So it was very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is barbecue competition. That's what I really like about this is the barbecue cooks, I should say. You know, there's like a changing of the guard slightly. You know what I mean? And Travis and Jesse, you've seen that. You know, there's been a lot of good cooks that come through. They do their thing, decide to open up restaurants, or they decide just to move on and just focus on something else. But that's what I like about the barbecue. It's like new cars. We still have Honda Civics out there, but they're completely different, right? So just seeing new cooks come through, they had like you said, Travis Clark, man, he was a beast when he'd come into a competition. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, he's here," but now he's kind of transitioned to his barbecue restaurant. We see other new coming cooks, like the Dunyons. They're starting to catch their wave and trying to, they're chasing those big comps and stuff like that too. So it's just really cool to see the transition of just different cooks. And
I think Sinbin was in Worland, Wyoming this weekend. So I haven't seen any results. Travis, have you seen anything on results for them?
No, I haven't seen that yet. But I'll tell you, like Crystal brought that up. She's like, yeah, there's been a lot of female guests lately, but guys, there's a lot more of the ladies cooking barbecue, which is fun to see, right? You got Michelle Christensen, who they're diving into it with slinging meats, and you got Sinbin in there, and there's some traditional names, the kind of the old school goddesses of barbecue, right? You got your Jess Prowls of the world, you got Christy Vanovers, Susie Bullock that they used to compete a long time ago, but it's fun to see some of these ladies. Yeah, right. Some of these ladies teams that are coming
Lady
in
of Q
slaying barbecue.
So the high school barbecue competition, Anthony interviewed the guy Mike that's in charge of the high school competition teams. They had their first all-female grand champion for the national championship.
Nice. Wow. That was a great interview.
Yeah, and I actually am getting with my superintendent because I'm at a new school that's K through 8, and we're going to look at getting the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to do a middle school team.
Nice.
So I don't know how well it'll go, but we're hoping.
Yeah.
You never know, I guess since we're here, man, let's just do this. Let's see here. How do I do this? Okay. Oh man, here we go. Since we brought it up, we're gonna just look at the results together so nobody knows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it looks like Colorado Bulldogs took first in Wyoming.
Hey, so is this official, or are they gonna have to recount it? No slide.
Let's see. Yeah, it says unofficial score, so I don't expect anything on it. It says unofficial.
Yeah, Levi's a good cook from Colorado Bulldogs.
Yeah, Levi and Jessica.
Yep.
I follow them. They follow me on TikTok. It's kind of fun. We should get them on too. That's another. Right. And LC.
Yeah, we got LC Barbecue. Looks like they took 4th. American Heroes. Is it Brinkhoff Barbecue? Needs More Cowbell. Rocket Boys.
Colorado. Yep.
Yep. Rocket Boys Pyro Barbecue.
We did this. We brought in the LC's complete line last week. I've got to get it out on the shelves, but we have. You need that. You want to look into what LC's doing. We got all of his stuff be up on the shelves in the Layton Pitmaster location.
Yeah, Jesse, when I decide I can't handle teaching and dealing with parents anymore, I'm going to open up a store
franchise.
out here.
There you go. Love to have you. You'd be great at it.
Right. And then to round out the top 10, 9th place, we had Latia Q in 9th, and then Lost Weekend Grill was the top 10 out there in Wyoming. Sling of Meats, their Utah team, looks like they took 13th, and then I don't see. We sure that they made it out to Wyoming there?
Yeah, I saw them on there. Isn't that thing? Where'd they go?
Yeah, I took them out some products.
Oh, right there. They took out 19.
I was there.
I need to look up 3 Smoking Chicks. We gotta.
Yeah, they took 19th, but yeah. So 19th. At least.
Very nice.
They're and this is their first year of making the first KCBS run, right? They decided that they want to try to go for KCBS points and see if they can make it to an invitational. So that's awesome for them out there doing it. So they looks like Colorado Bulldogs is just slaying it.
Yep.
First place in chicken as well. So yep. So it looks like looks like it was a great competition. A lot of teams. What, 29 teams? That's not bad, right, Jesse?
That's a good turnout
in today's
world
now. So
Yeah.
today's average, yeah.
I still can't believe we fit 29 teams in the space we had for Norute. The teams were awesome to work with to get them all stacked in and stack them deep and sell them cheap, man. It was awesome.
Right. Yeah, it's tough to find a space to be able to hold this many teams, because Jesse, you weren't just talking about like just 18 by 18 spaces, but you have full blown, trailers and RVs.
I call them the redwoods, is when these guys come in with these 40 or 45 foot trailers. And I said, you're over there with the redwoods. They're like, what do you mean redwoods? It's like, because it took 4 redwoods to build your trailer. They're so big. They're so big.
Right.
I love
that's wild. And then it's totally different than the SEA that I'm used to. SEA events, you'll see these just like utility trailers is what people are cooking out of, 12 feet. Yeah. 15 feet is the max.
You can fit 10 teams on the head of a pin. It's just it doesn't eat up as much space as everybody with their big rigs and big trailers, and it's a different game.
Well, it's fun to watch the differences. That's where were we? I think we were in St. George, and it was cracking me up because you had guys rolling in, with their Starlink satellites and 45-foot trailers, and then Fidel and Curtis are pulling out egg foam mattresses and sleeping on the ground and hunting gear overnight. I'm like, man, yeah, it's different. But at the end of the day, what goes into the box, right? And anybody can do it. It's great. So
right.
I think the Pitmasters podcast needs to hold an SCA event. Jesse, what do you think? And you're only allowed in a 10 by 10, no trailers, just straight up keep it go old school.
That would be awesome.
Everybody's on the same playing field, same heat, same cold. Whatever the weather is, everybody's in the same shit.
Yeah, I think we should. I know a couple of locations we could probably pull that off.
Right.
That's how it was at the spring fling. I mean, we were snowed in, and everyone had one tent, and it was.
Yeah.
I don't think we had any big trailers for that one. It was so much fun.
Yeah. If you ever never cooked a barbecue in a snowstorm, you haven't done this long enough. So we did an event. How long ago was that? Is it Brad Trammell's place? He had a small barbecue restaurant on 1900 in Roy, Utah. We had a comp at his place. It was in October, or it could have been early November. And when we started our pits, everybody had about 8 to 10 inches of snow on their pits.
Jeez.
Wow.
But it created some amazing memories, some great pictures. Dig through some of my social media, see some of the old pictures of the snow. But yeah, it's anytime you can cook in adverse weather, you learn a huge amount of information to help your game. It's
agreed.
Learning on the fly.
Yep.
Well, Derek, you don't understand this quite, but everybody here, other than you, Thanksgiving time, we are all out there trying to grill, but it's cold as shit out there, and we really struggle with our pits. You're down there in Southern California on Thanksgiving.
Sometimes
you're like,
it's
85 today.
Sometimes it rains.
Sometimes it rains on Thanksgiving. But to be fair, there a small pocket of my life when I was in high school, I did live in northern Minnesota, so that would be worse than Utah. As they would tell me, that was a real winter, and it was. So splitting firewood at 40 below was a significant difference than splitting wood and being out in the hayfields during the summer. So, but yeah, I haven't had to cook in that. I think the coldest I've ever had to cook was Royal Oak Invitational. It was like 34 degrees that morning, and then Big Bear. So up at elevation, it was like 34, 36 degrees that morning. But of course, it warmed
perfect.
up.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But it warmed up, so it's like, all right, just suck it up. But you're right. I don't have that struggle down here in sunny San Diego.
Right.
Saturday morning, it got up to 50 degrees out here when I was running yesterday, and I was like, why is it so cold? And then I was like, I cooked in the snow, why am I complaining?
Right.
Well, just even cooking the SCA event on New Year's, that was cold.
No.
Thank goodness it wasn't.
I thought about it,
snowing.
and I was like, no.
Yeah, I think we should do that again, Jesse. That was fun. It's cold. It's long. But it's definitely
like
worth it.
Like we said last week. Some of the SCA cooks are their own worst enemy when we're trying to put on a competition, and the first day it's posted up, they're like, "Is this going to get canceled?" And I'm like, that just kind of pissed me off. So
Yeah.
I lost
I asked
several
you that once, and you were like, "Crystal, stop it."
Yeah, I lost several $1,000s on that event because people put doubts in people's heads, and I was like, I was bound and determined to get that comp to go, and everybody had a blast. And then Terrell's so amazing. She was accommodating because we had all the judges in a very small area inside the store, so they were nice and comfortable. Teams are freezing outside, but God, we had a blast. That was so much fun.
Dude, I got to tell you what, though, I have, like, I'm glad I brought a truckload of heaters because you never knew what we were up against. And, we were pawning off heaters like crazy, but, that went so late. This is how old we're getting. I have never felt so hungover in my life as I did that
drinking.
And I didn't have a single drop of alcohol. I got up that next day and I felt like I was back in college. It was kind of painful.
3 days to recover.
Yeah, it was a blast, though. It really was.
Yeah. Well, we had Steven comment on the show, man. He wants a chili cook-off. We should really get that going. Rusty's reached out to me and said we should do them as well, too. It's crazy. So
we've been talking about doing that at one of the stores, too. Do an October or November chili cook-off and do the same thing. You get a 10x10, no trailers. Stay warm by your cookers. And
Yep.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. Or keep it simple. What do you really need to cook chili? From even
Dutch
cooking
oven.
chili in your home, you just need a pot and a cutting board.
Right.
Seriously.
Yep.
But you never know.
Even Sterling with Big Papa Smokers, when he would do the guinea pig or King of the Smoker, he would have those rules like, hey, no trailers, no power, like come out and cook. And I think we may need a little bit more of that, just like, especially if you're limited on space, like Jesse was talking about. It's like, hey, you guys are going to cook out of a 10x10. You can load in with a trailer, unload all whatever your equipment you have, but it needs to fit in your 10x10. And then just stack that field with teams and then have a good purse. People will come. Will come.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The purse is so important. So people don't understand. It's like, oh, I've got this great location for a barbecue competition. I said, that's great. How much prize money do you have?
Where's the money? Yeah. Who's backing this?
You have to have that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is fair? Say like Jesse and I decide to do a Pitmasters Podcast chili cook-off. What is a fair entry fee and what's a fair payout, do you think, for chili?
Oh, I have no
Jesse,
idea.
I'm pretty sure you already have some numbers in your brain, but
not for chili.
But what do you think
that goes for?
I think you got to price it in the range of the backyard barbecue comps, or even actually a little less. And then like the one competition we were talking about in the snow, all the prize money for that was just from the entry fees. So there was 8 teams. So the grand champion walked away with maybe $100 and $125.
Right.
Maybe 200. So as long as you have a lot of people want really cool trophies.
Yep.
So the trophies are almost as important as the prize money. So if we can put together a little bit of prize money and some trophies and get a couple sponsors, maybe get Bingham's Meats or Harmon's involved, we can pull something off for chili.
That'd be cool. Yeah, because
there's a couple meat packing companies out here that would do it for advertising.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just thinking, like, just right off the top of my head, $50 to enter. First, second, and third, take it all, and then some trophies. What do you guys think about that?
That's a great start, and especially if you can find a sponsor, like you said. If you got a meat market, if they're going to donate some kind of ground for the cook-off, but also if they want the advertising, be like, hey, can you sponsor our trophies? Like the sponsorship deck we have for trophies is at maybe $500. Like, can you put that up? We put your name, your brand on the trophies. We also put a banner when you sign in. We'll have you on the website. Like, that's the biggest thing, is finding those sponsors and then showing them the value in it as to, like, well, what do we get out of it? Because that's what a lot of them are still looking for, is that ROI. But I think that's a great start, especially if you can get some sponsor backing in there.
But yeah,
we have a cook commenting saying that he's willing to pay $75 to $100 to enter. So we're talking chili. So we might actually be able to pull this off, Jesse. We're going to talk after this podcast.
Yeah,
that'd be so fun.
We will. Yeah, because
I don't even like chili, and I'd come out and help out. I don't want to cook it, and I don't want to eat it, but I'll come help you to set it up.
The trophies we've been doing lately with those big checks with all the sponsors on it, and then those have been really cool for the sponsors because people are taking those home and they're displaying those big old checks, and also they're taking pictures of them
and they're
posting
posting on
all over
There's
social
some back
media.
there.
That's where some of the ROI. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it is.
That's some of the ROI that, and then and I extend it when I get a sponsorship for a single event. I'll put them on most of the trophies or the paraphernalia for several competitions, so they get a bigger ROI than what they normally get for
the
just
initial
one
event
sponsorship.
itself. That's great.
Yep, correct.
You're building that relationship at that point. It's not transactional.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna do this. Well, we'll talk about it offline,
So
and we got to do it when it's cold too. We're talking like man. Yeah, we're gonna. It's chilly.
I guess
Chili
so.
season's right around the corner.
I have my Pitmaster hoodie. My house is cold today, and I don't know what's going on.
And see, a chili cook-off in your guys' area makes perfect sense to me. Versus, I know they have one down here in San Diego and in Ocean Beach, right on the water during a street fair, and I think it's like at the end of spring, early summer. And I'm like, really? I'm like, wow, we really do a chili cook-off in Southern California.
That doesn't even sound good, right?
Yeah, it's not even appealing.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's
like
chili's,
that should be like
fish
fish
taco.
Season. That's fish taco time.
It really is.
Fish taco territory. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely taco territory. Anytime's taco time. Honestly,
I'm down with that too. Yeah, I think late October or early November would probably be a good time for that. I've got a limited edition limited entry elk that I need to fill in early October. So
nice.
There you go.
Well, if you do it right, we can have elk chili. So
well,
and that comes out really well.
So we did a class a year and a half or so ago, and me and Sin Ben taught the classes and did different chilies, and I made a elk and moose chili. And we had several females in the class go, to kind of turn their nose up at it. And those were the people coming back for seconds and thirds.
There you go.
So,
made believers out of them.
Yep.
I've done ground deer lasagna, and that was a big hit. Yeah. And I make my noodles, and I make all the sauces and everything from scratch. And using deer meat was.
That's because you're a BA. You're a badass.
I try.
Travis, did you ever go to that? Did you go to that cook at Daniel's Summit? Did you go to the chili cook-off at Daniel's Summit that Wasatch Back did?
What?
I didn't make it up to that one.
That one was fun.
I missed it too.
That was
I really wanted to go to that. I had a scheduling conflict for some reason.
19.
You cooked in that, didn't you, Anthony? How'd you do?
Yeah, I took second place. I lost to a white chili. I was kind of sad about it.
A white bean chili? Oh yeah. Dude,
white bean chili with ham hocks.
Well, but you know what though? That's the fun thing about chili, right? Like, chicken, you're only going to get a couple different things in the box. With chili, it can be a white chili, it can be a chicken. I mean, there's a million different ways they can go with chili. Bean, no bean.
Yes,
You can start a wildfire with asking if chili has beans or no beans in it.
Beans and no beans.
It gets that heated. It gets that
no
heated.
beans. No beans.
Right.
We can ask Lee from Texas. She has very strong opinions on that.
Very opinions. See, not team bean. I'm all about beans in my chili. So
I'm a no beans guy. But the thing is with no beans chili, there's a very, very fine line from making chili or sloppy Joe coffee.
Yes.
It's very fine.
Hey man, I'll eat chili on a bun all day. I'm not scared.
Yeah, I'm not scared either.
Right. So I guess it's the sense is that we need to do this, and Derek's gonna fly up and he's gonna cook in it.
Jesse's phone.
I don't know if I'm gonna cook in it. I'll help out. Sure, I'll help out, but I don't know if I want to cook.
Yeah. Jesse signed out for the day. He did warn us at the start of the podcast that his phone might die. He almost made it to the hour. He needed 5 more minutes, but it's all good. It happens.
If we plan it for the 18th and 19th, I'm off of school. It's fall break for me, and I could actually come down and do it.
Yeah.
But if we did it the 25th,
I definitely want
26th, that's my birthday weekend.
So you're not available?
You might be getting all the chili.
I would be available. Hunting season, my husband works at a sporting goods store at the gun counter. Hunting season, I'm a hunting widow. He doesn't even hunt.
Right.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Well,
he has to work every single weekend during hunting season. It's busy. We had the archery hunt started yesterday.
Yes, I'm FOMO on that
busy.
right now. I'm really sad about that. I don't want to discuss it.
Yeah, yeah.
My cousin
sense
drew a
anything.
tag for Vernal. I was like, "What are you doing drawing in Vernal? You live in West Jordan."
Yeah, I didn't draw
In
my
fact,
tag.
I'm coming
so
down
just
next
sad.
weekend to cook his company barbecue. Anthony, you should come up and
All right.
eat with us.
Nice.
Yeah, I
You too,
think
Travis, come down to West Jordan.
yeah, we'll be down there. But I think the chili cook-off, I think it really lands perfect the week of Halloween.
Ooh, yes.
I feel like that's a really good time. I'm pretty sure even out there in California where Derek is, that's a good transitional time. The week of Halloween, the fall's in full effect down there in California at a good 75 degrees.
The palm
Well, that's
trees are
perfect.
changing
Yeah,
colors.
Halloween falls on a Thursday this year, so you can do it that Saturday after.
Yeah, the
Saturday
second.
after, Saturday before. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that I'll have to talk to
Do it the
Jesse. and we'll
26th, and I'll make a huge cake to celebrate
right.
my birthday. I'll
Yeah,
come
we'll
down
talk to
and
Jesse,
do
and
cake
this is
too.
very tentative, listeners. We might do a chili cook-off. We'll see if we can get that pulled off. See if
So
we can
fun.
find some sponsors. Maybe Crystal can work on some sponsors on her end. See if we can pull that off. And then, what do you guys think? Should we have a no bean and two categories, a no bean and a bean category?
No, just
chili.
let them turn in whatever. Don't complicate it.
Don't make it complicated.
No, we need
Well, because also if
we need
everybody does
uniform
no bean-
turn-in cups though. Otherwise, you're gonna have
Yeah.
people
I agree.
doing crazy
Giving you
stuff.
giant platters of stuff
Right,
with
I
bread on
agree.
the side.
100%. Yeah.
Lobsters hanging out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Turn
do
and
really
cut.
do like though is which one did we? It was a chili cook-off. I think it was at the Rec Tech one, where they did cornbread and chili.
That's
But
solid.
Do
Ooh,
cornbread as an
Cornbread in the
ancillary.
smokers, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we'll just do a non-sanctioned chili cook-off with cornbread and chili.
Hey, I'm gonna cheat. I'm not buying it. I'm gonna go up to that Rose's place and get that chocolate cornbread. I've been craving that. So
Oh yeah, Charlotte Roses.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
good. Yeah, that would be cheating. Would you say? See Travis turn that in, dude. You don't even cook. What are you doing?
Yeah. I might just go get some and
great.
share because it's that good. So,
Right.
So
Well, awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining, and I want to really shout out to all you guys for what you do for the podcast. Even if it's just something small of just even sharing, it's huge for us. Everybody, all of our listeners is a part of this podcast. You guys keep us going, sharing, commenting, just even giving your input on the Facebook, like everybody did last week. On what would a new cook need for an SCA event. Is huge for us, and then what you guys do for us is just extremely thank you. I don't even have the words for it, but you guys do so much for us. Travis, taking care of that community page, getting all the sneakers and socks and everything off there's huge.
Didn't someone just tried to sell us T-shirts and dresses today?
yeah.
Possibly.
Tagged in something. I was like,
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
Bookface makes it harder and harder to lock down stuff like that too, without completely killing your team.
Right. Yeah.
Hi,
and then
Jesse
Derek,
on Carolyn's phone.
Hi guys.
and then Derek, thank you so much for what you do, man. On the
Yeah.
on the backside, using your connections, being able to get those rub contacts and being able to organize, and somebody I can actually vent to. I've had to send him a few texts like, "Are you serious? Is this what's really going on?" And he's able to, agree with me or tell me that I'm in the wrong, whatever else. So I really appreciate that. And then Crystal,
That's what I'm here for.
yeah, and then Crystal, holy crap! Like I said, you are kind of the glue to this podcast right now. Jesse and I are so busy, and you're able to lock us down guests and get dates is huge for us. So
Thanks so much.
yeah, so we
well,
really
it was
appreciate that.
it was really nice to be able to, like, when I wasn't in school from 8 to 4, I was able to push a lot and get a lot booked out into September. I got probably this week. I start school on Wednesday is my first day of school. So like Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to really start pushing to finish out September and get October going.
Yeah. And
So
like I've told you before, don't stress out. There's always audibles that we can call. Like today happened because we had a guest that was unavailable. So there's nothing to stress out. Don't lose sleep over it.
Oh yeah,
Please don't do that.
It'll just be when I'm, when I'm doing. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys I'm doing a master's program now, so I'm busy girl.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
And then
I love it.
and you have all of our support on that high school barbecue. Hopefully you can get that high school barbecue team rolling.
One of the guys out here, the guy that I did the competition, I'll have to talk to you about it, Jesse. He wants to be sanctioned KCBS, but I think he needs some help.
Well,
he's one.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
We can help. We can help. That's the one thing that's a thing about what Derek was saying, talking so much about community, is like the community, the people in the barbecue community, for the most part, I'm like 98% of them are fantastic people.
Yes.
You have a couple of outliers out there always, and you get 100 people, you're gonna have a couple of outliers that aren't the best people on the planet. But for the most part, like you're at a barbecue competition, they're gonna help you. You're doing an event, people are gonna help you. It's just everybody wants to grow the sport, and if that's what your focus is, teaching and helping, it you can't have anything but success from that.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it was so fun. We had, I think, out of 12 teams yesterday, there was 6 that it was their very first competition.
And how many questions were they asking you?
Oh, 1,000,000. It was so great. I was like, ooh.
The roles have
and
been
they provided
reversed.
the meat, so that was really fun. That like we paid the $50 entry fee, and they provided the brisket, the pork butts, and the chicken thighs.
Nice.
Wow.
So we only did 3 meats, but it was really fun and it was nice but we didn't get the meat till the night of, so trimming was busy.
I bet. Yeah.
But it was
probably
great. It was a lot of
frozen
fun
as well, huh?
I only got pictures of my brisket because I was running.
Cool. Well, alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for jumping on here today, and for all the hard work you guys do for us. And yeah, we'll just keep this going, and then one day maybe we'll strike up a contract with XM satellite radio and have a full blown show and get paid to do this. None of us have to go to work.
There you go.
Or come in or report from work.
Right.
Well, cool. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much, and I guess that's the end of the show for this week.
Awesome. Thank
Very
you,
cool.
Anthony
Good
and
to see
Jesse.
you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for all you guys
Thanks.
do. Seriously, thanks for all you guys do, because it's like Anthony said, he's been putting everything on his shoulders for years now, and I'm sure some of that stress relief is a welcome addition to the show. So from both of us, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really do.
Thank you guys for doing the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks
involving
for
us.
allowing-
When I was like, I
thanks for
need
allowing us
something
to be
to
a part
do.
of it.
Anthony, help me.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.